Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Higurashi When They Cry Onikakushi. So last episode continued the story, of course. We had some slice of life moments as expected. The gang went to a shrine ride, had a picnic, and a little bit later, we actually got some info, right, that there was a murder in Hinamizawa, right, in the 1979, I think. We saw in the tips, right? So that was very interesting. And let's see what happens in today's episode. So, yeah, let's continue. So we finished chapter 2 last time, by the way. Okay, we're back in the classroom with Mion, Colonel Randy.
そりゃレナのツボだわな。
レナがサトコやリカちゃんをお持ち帰りしたくなるのはわかる。だがランディ君人形だけは理解できないぞ。あんなメガネ親父のどこがいいんだ。
Four-eyed geezer.
そりゃレナに直接聞けばいいじゃん。どうせだって可愛いんだもんしか言わないだろうけどさ。
レナはよくあそこ工事現場のとこへ宝探しに行くのか？
ちょくちょく見に行くって言ってましたです。
しかし年頃の女の子がゴミ漁りね。
レナが楽しいならいいんだと思いますです。
I mean, she's the one rummaging there, so it's fine, right?
あそこはなんだよ。ダムの工事現場だったのか？
It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
何年か前に中止になっちゃったけどね。
I mean, of course it got cancelled, right? Someone actually died there, right?
みんなで力を合わせて戦いましたです。
So I guess they were like, ah, hell no, let's leave this place. The villagers are gonna kill us. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me.
そうそう。何しろとんでもない話だったんだよ。ひなみ沢が丸ごとダム湖に沈むことに一方的になってさ。
Oh, so I guess that's why they stopped in. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
ごめんねごめんね。待たせちゃったかな。申し訳ありませんわねケイチさん。お化粧直しに時間をかけちゃいまして。
サトコ、便所には溜めてから行け。一気に出せて楽で早いぞ。
Okay.
花も恥じらう乙女になんて口の利き方。
A maiden of unparalleled beauty. Who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued.
さてと、今日は快速に乗っ取り部員の諸君に是非を問いたい。彼前原圭一君を新たな部員として我らの部活動に加えたいのだがいかがだろうか。
レナは意義なし。
I mean, isn't Keiichi included anyways?
近隣風情が私の相手を務められるかしら。
She always undermines Keiichi, calls him peasant, poor.
僕もサトコも賛成しますですよ。
The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
全会一致おめでとう前原圭一君。君に栄えある我が部への入部試験を許可する。
順を追って説明しろ。俺はまだ入るとは言ってないぞ。何の部活だ？
我が部はだな、複雑化する社会に対応するため活動ごとに提案されるさまざまな条件下、時には順境あるいは逆境からいかにして
じめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。レナさんは甘えてますわ。弱い者は食い尽くされるのが世の常なのでございますわよ。
This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So, what kind of club was it?
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活なのです。
A club we play games together. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club put me on, or this club's put me on the hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place.
先に断っとくけど、ままごと遊びみたいなレベルじゃないからね。一生いっぱいに命がかかってるくらい本気でかかった方がいいよ。
楽しくやれればいいじゃないか。そう凄むなよ。
快速第一条、狙うのは1位のみ。遊びだからなんていういい加減なプレーは許さない。
快速第2条、そのためにはあらゆる努力をすることが義務付けられておりますのよ。
The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary. Even cheat, I guess, to win, right?
もちろん僕も頑張りますです。レナも弱いけどね、精一杯頑張ってるの。
I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun.
よし、俺も本気でやってやるぜ。
With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
ケイちゃんに一応忠告ね。
Okay.
レナも結構えげつないからね。
This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school? Well, it's a club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
難しいゲームはケイちゃんだけに不利だからね。今日は誰にでもわかるゲームにしよう。スタンダードにトランプのジジ抜きはどう？
Like Old Bachelor, what is that game?
よし、受けてやるぜ。
Okay.
やっぱり罰ゲームがないと燃えないよね。今回はビリに顔面落書きの刑。どう？
優勢じゃないよね。優勢じゃないよね。
Permanent. She wants to draw on her faces with a permanent marker?
上等でございますわ。
I mean, permanent marker, you can still remove it. It's just, yeah, much harder. Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either.
じゃあカード切ってみんなに配るね。
Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There is only one difference, there's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, okay? Meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game.
じゃあ1枚抜くね。
Mion took one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently.
ま、終盤になればおのずとわかるし、最初はどうしようもないよな。
But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging or gauging each other's reaction. It was if they could see what the face down card was. And no, it couldn't be.
このトランプ、結構傷物だろ。まさかみんなにはその傷でそこに伏せたカードが分かってる？
快速第 以上ですわ。
The second rule, yes, win by any all means, right?
圭一さんも勝つために最善の努力をなさいませ。いくつかのカードは特徴的だから圭一くんにもすぐ覚えられるよ。
Keiichi-kin? She said that so matter-of-factly.
上等だぜ。この程度でハンデになると思うなよ。
I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed though.
ケイちゃんの手札を右から言うぜ。3、4、9、ジャック、クイーン。
Wait, what? She knows it.
ちなみにジジはダイヤの J なのです。
The Jack of Diamonds.
どうカードを入れ替えたって見え見えですわ。上がりですな。
So for them, it's easy to play because they know which card is or which, right? I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming.
鬼だ。こいつらは鬼だ。レナは鬼じゃないよな。
ごめんね圭一くん。こっちがハートの3だよね。あがり。
Okay. Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a deathmatch on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates.
ポイントは減点制ね。着順がそのままマイナス点。トータルで一番少ない人が優勝。
では圭一はビリなので5です。
5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard.
やっぱりさ、綺麗なトランプでやらないと圭一くんに不公平だよ。
True though, yes, because they're cheating. Basically, they know what card is on the table.
いいのいいの。ケイちゃんだって男だし。これくらいの逆境は跳ね返せるよね。
No.
貧民風情は逃げ帰って涙で枕を濡らすのがお似合いでございますことよ。
Oh, look at her calling Keiichi peasant again. A petite hand laid itself on top of my hand, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
ファイトオーです。
Thanks to Rika-chan's word of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during the crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. Just as Rena said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings, making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
うわ、うまいよ圭一くん。その調子。
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
角が割れているのは5だったはずです。上がりましたです。
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me.
欲しいのは7なんだが、これかな。
さてどうかしら。
She's blushing though. Maybe it is,
聞
right?
いてみないとわかりませんことよ。
Take it, take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentarily or lapse slip by
見
me.
えた。これだ。
Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out.
なんですって7は一番わかりにくいはずですのに。
It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting the card were enough.
ほらケイちゃん隠さない。この傷が確かダイヤの2だったよね。あれ
She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
あ、みーちゃんがカード間違えるなんて珍しいね。
違う。ケイちゃんあんたまさか。
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch, so I put a new one on it.
ダイヤの2を偽装したというですの。あ、味な真似をするでございますわ。ケイチ、一矢報いましたです。
Clap, clap, clap.
やったねケイチくん。大前線だよ。
Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves.
まあビリは確定だけどさ。最後にミオンから1本取れたから大満足かな。
That laugh though. That should be the proverbial slap in the face of Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
この回仮にケイちゃんが1着になってもトータルビリが確定するんだけど嫌でしょ。
当たり前だ。
一騎打ちしようよ。ワンチャンス。勝てたらケイちゃん1位で私ビリの大逆転なんてどう？乗るでしょ。
She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it.
ワンチャンスだと。ルールを説明しろ。
Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with a joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back.
右手のカードと左手のカードどっちがジョーカーか当てたらケイちゃんの勝ち。
今後ろに回した時ジョーカーを抜いたってことはないだろうな。
ケイちゃんが負けたら反対の手のカードも公開するよ。それなら OK でしょ。
The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events.
よし乗ってやる。
Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and crushed them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was.
どっちだろう。ケイチくん、慎重にね。
ああもちろんだぜ。逆転の大チャンスだ。
Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
あのカードは。
I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker.
ケイちゃんは右のカードを疑ってる。じゃあ右にする？右？
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that card to the right was the Joker. Even without a Mion taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious one. But then again, she could be just baiting you, right? But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. I remember now. Then Mark left the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs.
きっとクローバーの7だね。
I won! The card on the left was a 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was a joker. Oh! And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. He's gonna try and mock her now.
さすがミオンだよ。
There was a wave of murmurs among the onlookers at my sudden hold, right before I committed or confirmed the right card was a joker.
ケイチさんは何を言ってるのでございましょう。だって左 C です。
Okay.
へえ。ケイちゃんはどうして右がジョーカーじゃないって確信できるの？
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled.
右のカードが何かは俺にもわからないさ。だが左のカードがクローバーの7だってことだけはわかる。
じゃあ残る右のカードがジョーカーなのじゃありませんこと？必ず左右どっちかがジョーカーという約束でしょ？
ああ。左右のどっちかにジョーカーがあるのは本当だろうな。
ケイチは勘がいいです。リカちゃん、それってどういう？
つまりさ、クローバーの7はさっき俺がサトコのスペードの7と合わせて捨てたカードなんだよ。
Everyone's attention snapped to the discarded pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile.
つまりミオンは捨て札を1枚拾って左のカードに重ねている。つまり
そうか、わかった。左のカードをクローバーの7に見せかけているんだね。
It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it out loudly.
ジョーカーは左手だ!
It was an intense moment. Let's see though. The 1 in a second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking the silence, the first one to speak was Mion.
初代部長として私も様々なプレイングを見てきたけど、ケイちゃん、あんたはベストだよ。ベストオブザベストオブザベスト。
Okay. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory. Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
リカちゃんか？
Ren and Sadako gaped at us as if they'd seen a ghost.
なんだよレナ。別に俺はインチキしてないだろ。先生堂々と。
I think Keiichi lost because Rena is patting him, right?
リカは慰めるときにしか頭を撫でませんの。
Yeah, see? To console them. What's the meaning of... At the moment, Rena let out a small shriek.
ケイチ君、こんなことって。
ケイちゃんならさ、ここまで読んでくれると思ってたよ。
So Mion baited Keiichi-kun. Easy on Mion's part. Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
賭けだった。ケイちゃんがおてんばさんの早とちりだったなら、 負けてたのは私だった。
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
ケイちゃんはさ、この負けを誇っていいよ。
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs, unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
部長、園崎美音の名において、前原圭一、あんたの我が部への入部を許可する。
As I slumped to my knees, it dazed everybody. Let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat.
これにて決着。
But honestly, I wish there were pictures, so it's much easier to see what they were playing, right? But yeah, it's over. So anyways.
本日の優勝は私、園崎美音。栄えあるビリは前原圭一。
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
みーちゃんが後ろ手で細工した時、またやるんだって思ってドキドキしちゃった。圭一さんが正解に触れる直前で止まった時にはかかったって思いましたわ。見事に引っかかってくれましたです。
Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited earnestly?
楽しくなるようにみんなで盛り上げましたですよ。
You.
お前らみんな鬼だ。人手なし。
さて、ケイちゃんに罰ゲームだね。今日は部活の初日だしね。ソフトに行こうかね。いきなり登校拒否になられちゃ困るし。
The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, a giant permanent one.
さて、行くよ。
What are you gonna draw on him though? She took the cap off and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized.
やめろー。
I let out my death throes. Can we see what they wrote? Higurashi when they cry. But yeah, I wish that there were pictures when we were doing that scene there. It was quite hard to understand, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't really play card games, so yeah. That adds to it. And as soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out the cute Colonel Randy that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence.
宝の山か。捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね。
Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before? Alright, Mion would probably tell me that a murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there.
あそこさ、ダムの工事現場。なんかあったんだろ？昔。
そりゃあったよ、戦いが。座り込みやったりデモをやったり。
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided to listen just the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな。俺だって戦うだろうな。
But yeah, if you're living in a village like this, right? And they're gonna build a dam there. And your village is gonna get sunk. Of course, everyone on that place would have fought, right?
役人どもは本当に一方的だった。
Especially if you don't have the luxury to like just leave this place, right, and start a new life on another one. That everyone would have fought no matter what.
偉そうで威張ってた。金で解決できないと悟ると、あらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよ。いやらしい奴らだった。
Neon spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her.
よく勝てたな。相手は国だろ。
村長や村の有力者たちがね、方々に陳情した。東京にも行ったし、いろんな政治家に根回しもした。そうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ。私たちの完全勝利だった。
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか？傷害事件とか殺人。
Okay, what is she gonna say though?
なかった。
She probably cut me off, the same as ran ahead. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought the murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあね。また明日ね。ケイちゃんそれ、うちに帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね。
わかってるよ。消さねえよ。
Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Oh yeah, but yeah, I forgot. They drew something in his face and we couldn't see it though. Damn you, Mion. You show rude as day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off even with a scouring pad. Okay, upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever dad can come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arm crossed. Mom whispered into my
お
ear.
かえりケイチ。お父さん大変そうだからそっとしてあげてね。
またアイデアに詰まったわけ？
今回は締め切りが重なったからね。お父さん充電期間がないと大変だから。
Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of my barras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master
家
painter?
の中をうろうろしないで表に散歩でも行った方がアイデアが出るんじゃねえの？
今回は生活空間がテーマだから、お父さんこの家をモチーフにしたいみたい。
That's quite a bothersome motive.
ケイチ、部屋の中を少しは片付けなさい。みっともないぞ。
ごめん後で片付けるよ。
Come on, please don't use my room as the motive.
ケイチ、お夕飯までまだ時間があるから、表でも散歩してらっしゃい。
Dad's moods are only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further.
じゃあそうするかな。
I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destinations in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get into town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled really. Oh yeah, Brenda was probably still at the mountain of treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Randy was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one though.
次の部活の時に恩返ししてもらえるかもしれないしな。
With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damned construction site. Tomitaki-san might be there as well. True. The only person with information about that incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. Was this Golden Gate Bridge? Motorbikes. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Randy was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitaki-san wasn't around, I began climbing down the slope unsteadily.
よーレナ、精が出ますな。
ケイチくん、どうしたのこんなところへ。
There she is, blushing yet again. A place like this, huh? I see, she was aware of it at least.
事故発生の緊急通報を受け参上しました。負傷者はどこでありますか？
事故って、
ランディ君人形がゴミ山に生き埋めになっているとの通報でしたが。
なんだ、びっくりした。ケイチくん脅かさないでよ。
冗談だよ。レナが一人で困ってるだろうなって思ってさ、手伝いに来てやったんだよ。
レナのために。
Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake.
冗談だよ。こっちまで恥ずかしくなるだろう。
冗談ってどこからだろう、どこからだろう。
I just ignored her bewilderment.
ほれ、どいたどいた。で、どこだよ、ランディ君は。
Randy君。
あ、ごめん。ほら、この隙間から見える？
こりゃ本当に生き埋めだな。
Can you actually see what Colonel Randy looks like? The Colonel Randy was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this.
この山を一人でどけるつもりだったのか？その細い腕で。
There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms.
でもランディ君人形かわいいんだもん。お店のランディ君には鎖がついてるけど、これならお持ち帰りできる。
If Rena gave up on this Colonel Randy, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardians, I won't allow her to sully your hands with crime.
どいてろよ、俺がやる。
Origairu. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done.
ケイチ君、レナも手伝えるよ。手伝わせて。
帰って邪魔になるから下がってろって。よいしょー。
Pulling out scraps, bending them, and tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it. No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Randy right there, honestly this place is very dangerous though. You keep pulling things, right? And everything might fall under you. Or over you, I mean. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed.
本気でやるなら大野とかノコギリとかがいるかもしれねえな。
もういいよ圭一くん。すごい汗だよ。そんな無理しなくてもいいよ。
レナのためにやってるだけだ。気にするな。
Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops, I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. Rena.
さすがに休憩。こいつは手強いぜ。
But honestly, you can see there's a bike right here, right? You can actually get that and get it fixed. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope.
ごめんね、ごめんね。すごい汗だく。
Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice.
あのさ、ちょっとここで休んでてね。
Okay.
私、家近いから。麦茶とか持ってきてあげるね。
Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I had discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it was just as Tomitaki-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There is no end to the sickening incidents. I mean, it's been like, this year is 1983, right? And then the event happened in 1979. So that arm is probably bone by now. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator of the victim was either. I only knew that it happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. Then both Rena and Mion... Oh yeah, there was... What? If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Jesus, man, it kind of became scary though. The atmosphere changed. Hinamizawa Dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. Show us though. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. Police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing in it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site, lynching and murder, dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily. An explosive backlash from his daily actions? It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. It seems the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was. The assailants butchered the victim's body. Wait, oh, dude, it's moving on its. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: head, arms, legs, and torso. Okay, what did it move though? I didn't click anything. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with a hatchet. Okay. Well, what the hell was that?
ごめんなさい。驚いたかな、驚いたかな。
I didn't even see. What? Rena dropped the hatchet she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice.
ケイチくんね、さっきほら、斧とかがあると便利だって言ったじゃない。それでね、レナ、物置からちゃんとナタ持ってきたんだよ。
I couldn't even see the image though. Was it like that? Like it was like a couple seconds? Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely.
ごめん。ちょっとオーバーに驚きすぎたかな。
こっちこそごめんね。ごめんね。
Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out and wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow.
最後の針はそのナタじゃないと壊せそうにない。せっかく持ってきてくれたんだし、明日借りるよ。な。何しょんぼりしてるんだよ。明日にはランディ君が掘り出せるんだぜ。
Randy kun.
そうだよね。早くランディ君をお持ち帰りしたい。
We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about a tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Okay. I want to see that image again. Can we see that? Oh, okay. This one. We got tips. View new tips. Okay. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's bulletin number, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam was to have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The area to be flooded by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsudo, Kyoto, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area would include 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, and 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, and 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship were to be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the 100 years of our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land was just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to have submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they squashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of the frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by the sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll all be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. Honestly, I should remember these names though. Maybe these names will pop up in the future, right? Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. Okay, next one. Special tabloid report. No, another one of these ones. A nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder. Dismemberment. On X day of X month in XX prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Shishibone, I guess it's Shishibone, right? Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody could have mistaken as alive. XX-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of the group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the conscience of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with the horrifying idea, a method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised a heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Okay. So every one of them would be guilty basically, right? I mean, they did it, but what I mean is so all of them couldn't just go to the cops, I suppose, right? XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involve each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. That guy is smart though. Each one participated, but what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound was what it meant. Thus an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But XX's plan collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other. but the de facto leader, XX, whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. Despite ongoing research or search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX has said that he was going to throw the body or the right arm into the swamp. XX car was discovered abandoned near a swamp, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt the theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in a swamp when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, the swamp is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikakushi, the demon's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the swamp is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the swamp? What? Why did it become funny again? The Zygian dragon, the bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or more money back. Okay. 27,800 yen. So it was an ad, I guess, right? At the ending there was an ad. Okay. So yes, we will end our episode there for today, I guess. So we did some games earlier, right? Some slice of life thingies. And it was pretty fun. But I wish we had, as I said, I wish we had like some pictures and some CGs on how they were playing it, right? Yeah, I couldn't understand what they were playing, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't understand. I tried to, but I couldn't understand. But, and then, what do you call this? We saw, or we went to the garbage dump, right? Saw Rena. Keiichi saw some, what do you call, newspapers, right? Saw a little bit of it. And then Rena came back. I couldn't really see the picture, honestly. The CG, right? Just a little bit. She was holding a hatchet, I suppose, right? That scared Keiichi. You will have to see. But yeah. And yeah, these tips are showing us a lot more, honestly. So this guy, the XX, their leader, I suppose, right? Who murdered the foreman. Are we gonna see him? Maybe. We're gonna have to see. But yes, we will continue this and do more of Higurashi, the first chapter, Onikakushi, in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.